if you love something and you really love it, it will prosper. It might don't prosper the 1 year, it might take 5 years, but you love it that much no matter what. Don't do it for recognition, do it because you love it. And when you love it, others will love it. And that's how I'm here today.
The producers, when they send me stuff, I'm like, man. And I call them, I'm like, well, how did you make that drum sound go? And
So how do you keep your energy up? How do you keep
so much
keep going?
Technology today,
It's
and there's so many
the
dope,
students,
like,
the people.
plugins that's
I
out
go
that
online.
don't know about, that
I hear their music, I'm like,
he might know
uh-oh.
about, he might know, like,
They coming from my neck, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it just listening to the other people, man. Like you gotta listen to others to keep yourself inspired. So I always on SoundCloud listen to producers when they send me stuff. I'm like, man, and I call them. I'm like, well, how did you make that drum sound go? And they'll gladly share it with me because it's so much in technology today, and there's so many dope like plugins that's out that I might don't know about, that she might know about, he might know. I'm like, man, I ain't got that plugin. They say, yeah, Timbo, you gotta get that. So that keeps my energy at a high because I'm learning every day. You know, the day you stop learning, it's over.
Are you all like, because you were mostly Ableton in the master class? Are you all in the box? Are you still doing like ASR and Triton and all that?
No, I'm on Ableton. I'm a Ableton guy. I'm on Ableton. I pull out my ASR, but it just I don't got spoiled. All my sounds right there. Like ASR, I got to put a floppy disk in, and that's just too much work. I got lazy. I don't know. But you know, I still love my bass now. We'll create because everything that I made from day one was on an ASR 10. Every hit that I've done was on an ASR. Kanye used ASR. He still uses it. Kanye used it for his church service. Pharrell, RZA, we all use the ASR. And back then it was the sonics, it was the sound, the way the ASR hit. But now there's I think the only thing that's like an ASR, Ableton is like that now, and it's getting it. But Fruity Loops definitely got something to it. I can't front on the FL gang. If the FL, I'm like, damn, this shit hit hard. The FL is serious. So that kind of reminds me of, and Machine is good too. Machine is good too. MPCs, but when I first got introduced to FL, I was like, wow, this sounds like how the ASR first came out, but in a digital way. And then when I got with Ableton, everybody, some people say, man, you gonna go to Ableton, that's hard. I'm like, no, because when I first went with ASR, it was hard. I thought it was hard. But Ableton allows you to create your own sonics. You can create, everybody who ever used Ableton, the way she or he might use it, not gonna sound the same as the way I use it. And that's the beauty of Ableton, because they have so many things that you can do to boost your snare, your kicks. People come to me. I just did a class at 1500 Academy, and this guy said, man, how you get your kicks to sound like that? So I said, you know what, pull it up. And I gave him these 2 plugins, and he was like, oh my God. And he went crazy. So Ableton, FL, who else? Logic. What else y'all use? What y'all? Who used Studio One? You know what? I know somebody else used Studio One. That thing is nice. What about Cubase? See, I learned all these dials. Cubase have this. They pitch. What is that? What you do the vocals? That's the best thing for vocals. Cubase is to me. I got to learn them all.
So another little gear shift here. Something, having watched your career through the years, a lot of people that I know that are also Timbaland fans have noticed, been hitting the gym a little bit, health and fitness, right?
Yeah, health is wealth. You got to stay. Plus, I'm getting older. I'm going to get old. I can't be like, You see these young people looking, No. I got to stay healthy.
Has that changed you, like your focus or your drive, or?
I would say this, a lot of producers can be sit down, we will eat, and you will get big. It's inevitable. And I would say this, by me training, it made me think very clear, and it made me hear sounds very different than what I used to hear before. Not saying that, I don't know, but I just know for me, by me training and doing what I do, I hear things way different. It makes my clarity be so much clear and so precise, especially when you work on a computer and if you draw and you write stuff in, you click, it just make me see everything precise.
So you just gym, or you running?
I do everything.
Everything?
Everything. I mean, you got to challenge yourself. I do everything. I train with a lot of athletes, a lot of pro ball players, basketball players. I mean, I do everything.
What do you think would be, if you had to pick one moment in maybe it's hard to do, but one moment in production where you feel like the stars aligned, like when you were in a studio session and something happened where just magic literally happened?
I believe Dirt Off Your Shoulders, right? Cry Me a River. Work It. And I say those three songs because you see Dirt Off Your Shoulders, Jay-Z was doing the Black Album movie, and he said something that was key. He said, when you don't know inspiration, you have to find it. And he came to me, and that tells you I'm always inspired. Regardless, I'm just always inspired. But when I push play, and I knew when I did that beat, and I did it on my tour bus at the time, and so when I said, ooh, this is special. And I knew that was special. And when I played it for Jay, I figured, I didn't know, I kind of assumed, because we had worked so long prior to that, we did so many hits before that, I knew it was going to spark something in him, or at least I had the assumption that it was going to spark something. So when I played it, he did exactly what I envisioned him to do. So that was a monumental moment, a special moment, and that's why you see it on everybody go crazy about that. Another moment was Cry Me a River. Justin had went out to a concert. This is when, back in the days when Britney Spears, that whole breakup or whatever. He came back, he was kind of frustrated, and I was in the booth, and I was like, and he was like, Cry Me a River. He just, right off the spot. And I was like, oh, this is going to be special. And then Scott came in and played the chords on top, and that just put the icing on the cake. Scott Storch, by the way. He's my partner. I'm in the story. So Scott played the chords on it, and I was like, uh-oh, we got something. And not just only that song, I believe Sexy Back was the same way. And how that came about is kind of the same way. It's like, I can't believe the two, like you can repeat the same thing twice. So Sexy Back, I did the beat, and he was like, if I can remember, he was like, ooh, this feels sexy. And I said, yeah. And then he was like, we got to put that on the track. And he said, that's what it's called, Sexy Back. And that was some monumental moments for me in production. And then Work It with Missy and Get Your Freak On. So Work It, it was because Missy, let me tell you something about Missy. She would make me do, that's why I talk to y'all about work ethic. I would do 100 beats. And back then, 100 beats with no computer, you know how hard that is? Then you got to save a disc, load this up. So she'd be like, that ain't it, Tim, that ain't it. I'm like, can you at least try? Like, well, and then she really worked the hell out of me. Let me tell you something. Missy is a perfectionist. And her whole thing, what stuck with me is when she said, I gotta perform it, Tim. If I can't dance to it, it ain't right. I'm like, well, if you get up there, you might can dance. Just try it. Missy, it had to be the feeling for her. So she taught me a lot. So this particular record, Work It, I got my time to shine. So I did the beat. And I was like, oh, this is it. I found this little Blondie part, this Blondie sample, and I was like, ooh. And it was this record that I loved by Dougie Fresh back in the day. I forgot the name of it, but it had this sound like boom, boom. I said, ooh, I need to take that old Dougie Fresh sound and put it in this beat. And we was working on Under Construction, and Missy was like, man, I ain't got that single yet. And that's when I was like, oh, shucks. So then when I was working on the beat, I knew that this was it. And so I played it to her. She was like, yes. So here's how I got to shine. She did a version of it. I was like, nope, that ain't it. I said, that ain't it. You got to go back and do something else. She looked at me. I said, yes. My turn. Then she did it again. Nah, that ain't it. I said, now you see how I feel. You see how I feel, don't you? Then she did it a third time. I said, we getting there. And she was like, what? And I'm like, nah, that ain't it. I said, you see how I feel, don't it? It's frustrating. She said, all right, I got you. Cause now, here's the story. I never watched Missy record, ever. Her vocals. She always kicked me out all the time. So this particular time, she kicked me out, and I came back in, and she had this face. I was like, damn, she got it. I know she got it. So when she played it, it said, is it worth it? And I was like, yeah, it's worth it. And when that thing came, that reverse part, I was like, oh my God. I said, this is out of here. This is gone. And it was history after that. So then, Get Your Freak On. I got her again. So, see how you felt? She didn't like it. I was like, what? No, Missy, this is it. And then when Nelly Furtado came in the room, she was like, you don't like this? And then Missy's like, I don't know. And then I'm like, everybody else come in the room, they was like, Missy, you crazy. This is it. And I said, yeah, thank you. You know, it was always, we push each other. Me and Missy pushed me to like, to the limit when it comes to production. She like, no, you got more in you. You got more in you. I'm like, huh? This is dope. And then when I do something that I don't think is dope, she loves. So I'm like, I'm confused. But then I start to study my own craft. I'm like, well, let me find out what makes her tick. Because she's a woman, and I say this about women. Women controls how men think when it comes to music. You know that, right? Because if a woman can't move to it, dudes, we gonna always, we gonna bounce. But if a girl in the back and she ain't moving, the dude gonna look at the girl like, wait a minute. It ain't gonna pop like it's supposed to pop. But then you'll play, girls the one that dictate how the world should move. To me, like, cause they when they start to move, the guys gonna move. That's just how it is. That's just facts.
That's awesome. So as a contrast, can you think of a time where there was a song that you just kept trudging away at that just didn't seem like it was taking shape, but you just knew something was there? So it was just the long path to the great song, not the one where you knew right away the magic was happening. The great song, not the one where you knew right away.
I never had those type of moments. I think I had a moment where Big Pimpin'. I had it for me and Magoo, and I was like, this track, it's not, no, because I'm not no rapper like that. We do stuff, but no, that ain't it. And I remember I was working with Jay, and Jay was going to leave the studio. And I said, man, I got something I want to play you, but I don't want to play it for you because that's Jay-Z. I know what's going to happen when I play it. So when I played it, he took off his jacket and sat right back down at that board But this the thing. I said my track is gonna beat you up. And he was like, okay, you ain't gonna. I said you're not gonna finish this tonight. You got to take this home, or you got to come back in the morning. I said you're not gonna finish this tonight. You got to take this home. I was right. Or you got to come back in the morning. But when I came back, he called me. But when I came back, and he said you got to come. And when I came to the studio, I only heard the first 2 lines. Was, how it goes? Oh, I love him, need him, this, that. I said, cut it off, cut it off. And I had to walk to the lounge because he mastered. It's hard to say. He put the right ingredients on that track. I didn't know what that track needed, but I knew it needed Jay-Z. I knew he was the guy to make me love what that track was. But because I didn't love it, but I knew it was something dope about it. And I didn't know if it was complete. And I thank God for me saying, hey man, let me play something for you. Because look, Big Pimpin' is one of the best songs or greatest songs of today. You know, so I think that was like a moment for me, a production where I kind of doubted it, but I leaned it on my brother Jay to put that special sauce on that track.
All these little stories and you know, pieces and parts of how songs come together are really amazing. I think we got a mic around here somewhere. I think we're going to do a little bit of Q&A.
Oh, that's good.
So I know that they're going to try to form some type of reasonable line. I would imagine it might be good to come out from the stage over on this side and line up if you guys want to ask some questions. There's also a mic back there.
Just pass the mic.
Right by the camera.
Just pass the mic. Like pass the ox. We should do that too. Like pass the ox. We should do that too. That's how I come back here. We got to do pass the ox. That's where it get interesting.
What's up, Timbaland? How you doing, man?
Okay, where am I looking? Oh, you right there, right?
Yeah, that's me.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, I've been a big fan for a long time.
Thank you,
Ever
thank you.
since Clock Strikes 12, man, I used to ride to that song.
Wow, you went all the way back to Magoo.
My question is, man, I know you're a big producer. You got a family. How do you juggle all that, man, and work towards your success?
I don't know.
More like time management. How do you juggle all that?
I think I'm still trying to manage it. Because when you love something so much, it's hard to manage anything outside of your passion or your love. I guess you got to find people who love it just as much as you love it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best way to juggle it. You know, I was married. I'm not married now. So, but now I have a beautiful girlfriend, and she love it just as much as I love it. And you got to find your equally, what's that word? Equally yoke. You got to find your partner that love the same thing you love.
I appreciate it.
It's on. What's up, Timbo?
What's up?
My name is Josh. Everybody calls me Hour. I'm a crumper.
I like that.
I make crump beats. I'm a crump producer. I've been using my inspiration to make music ever since I heard Up Jumps the Boogie. Like, that's one of my favorite beats ever.
What beat?
Up Jumps the Boogie.
So want me to tell you a story about that beat?
Yeah, please.
So I remember when I made that beat, and Magoo came in the studio, and I was like, this sounds a hot mess. Cause I said the piano off, and I was about to click my ASR 10 off, and Magoo slapped my hand so hard, said, don't you do that, and I'm like, what? Cause I was gonna erase that beat. I didn't think that beat was dope. He said, are you crazy? And that's the first time, like when he started doing, he said, listen to this, and he did the flow. I was like, all right, this dope. But at first I thought that beat was whack.
That's one of my favorite beats ever. That and Man Eater with Finale. That band and
that was
the drums
dope.
on that
I
is
like
crazy.
that one.
But I wanted to know, like one, how do become a part of the S Clan, I would love to like study under you if that's possible. Like, how do you?
That's
become
easy.
How?
Email me. You want to know?
Yes.
Timbo the King. I'm going to say it slow. gmail.com. There you go. And I check all my emails. I love listening to music all day.
Bet.
Like, all day. People, because, you know, and don't get, if I don't hit you back, I just like to dial in my own way, you know. And then I'll respond back and I'll be like, you should work on this. But nothing is never whack to me. You know, I always try to find a home for that particular production. And I'm always encouraging producers such as, you know, if you send me something, I'm going to tell you what I think, and I tell you what to work on, and then I just say, and I'm the easiest guy because I love music, and I try to find a gift in each individual. So send me something.
All right, and it's Timbo the King or the King, like D-A?
Okay, Timbo. You ready? TIMBODAKING @gmail.com. Right.
All right, thank you so much, for real.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Hey Tim, how you doing?
TIMBODAKING Gmail. I sound like one of those teleprompters.
That's TIMBODAKING.
How we doing? I'm George.
What's up, George?
Yeah. Question. I love your music.
Thank you.
And definitely it's pretty awesome to hear that. I'm also focusing on the Spanish music also. Now that we have trap, Spanish music and reggaeton, is any way in the future you're going to be working with some of these great artists like Daddy Yankee, Bad Bunny, and all this kind of stuff?
Well, I work with Sting, and Bad Bunny, but I definitely want to work with, what's the guy? Is it, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Annual?
I know him.
Yeah, that's who I want to work with.
Yeah.
He cold with it.
Yeah.
But then it's this other 16-year-old kid. I don't know. They been having crazy ass names.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'll be following him if I go on my IG. But he's dope. But would you say how his name is? Annual?
We have.
And White. Yeah. He hard.
Yeah.
He that next thing.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Hopefully, see a future with that guy. That'd be really dope.
It'll be dope. I can't wait. I hope this get to him.
What's going on, Timbo? Over here.
Okay, there you go.
So, my name's Joe. Quick question was two. So, is there a difference between a beat maker and a producer? And then two, how do you know when a production or your beat is done or your sound is done? How do you know?
Man, you know, I used to that conversation, we could have that conversation a couple of years ago, beat making, producing. I think the way the world is right now, and I do it. I don't think it's no difference between a beat maker and a producer. I think beat making, I don't know if we have it's very rare you find a producer, an artist going to the studio with a producer. So it's really them, you sending out your beats. And for me, how I look at it as simple is less is more. So if you're trying to add on to your production, find the main, don't go overboard because a writer can't write over that. You know, you could do that after the artist is on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's when producing comes in. And that's on your time. Because, you know, a lot of artists nowadays like to do it in their own space. So when they send it back to you, it's up to you if you want to. If you hear other ear candy, you be like, oh, let me add this part. You know, now you're producing. Now you're taking your beat. Now you're producing it. You know, because you added more stuff to it. But don't overthink it. Simple is more. I mean, being simple, less is more. That's what I'm basically saying. Less is more. If it's just make sure the sonics of the less is more is. If it's just two sounds, they have to be the beautiful sounds of life. I'll give you a prime example. Work is only 3 sounds. That's just 3 sounds of that whole track. But it feels like 12 sounds, right? Because the foundation was laid so beautiful. You know, so you got to find that right sonic over those drums that matches them drums, and The rest is history. You send it over to a rapper, then you're gonna hear more stuff after that, or a singer, you're gonna hear more after that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's up, Timbo?
What's up?
Name's Christoph Robinson. I just had 2 questions to ask you. First question, what was the inspiration behind Bounce with Justin Timberlake? Because that's personally one of my
What
favorite
song is
songs.
that? You know, I do so many records, I forgot that song. How it go? Hum it.
Bounce.
Oh, you talking about from Shock Value?
Yeah, shock value.
With Dr. Oh, that was my Dr. Dre, right? Yeah. Dre pushed me. I sent Dre something. He's like, nah, this ain't that Timbo. I need that Timbo. I need that bounce. I need that My mentor pushed me to make that. I'm like, dang, Dre being like Missy. You know what I'm saying? But Dre kind of inspired that one. You know what I'm saying? I was just making sounds, and I was like, ooh. And at first I had this beatbox part that, and then I was like sampled it, and I just I found this grungy bass. And I said, I just put on. I said, ooh, the sonic sound right, and I just sent it over. It was only 3 sounds on that too. It was just in my mouth, a drum, a kick, a snare, and that bass. That was it.
And in terms of inspiration, like I know that you look at a lot of young producers and kind of use them as inspiration, but in terms of underground artists, especially in SoundCloud, who do you look up to, like kind of the most?
What, like new artists?
Yeah, new artists.
I don't know if I. Right now, I'm really who I'm on right now is I still call him Baby Jesus, but the baby, like from Charlotte, like just coming from Charlotte, anywhere from the South. You know how hard it is to make it, and his marketing campaign, he just ruthless with it. I haven't seen that in a long time. Khaled, that's what Khaled do. But a young person like such as himself to go as hard as he go right now, he's trying to claim that spot. And I'm looking at not so much the music is phenomenal, but I'm looking at his energy that he's putting out to the world. And he won't stop. I can tell he's gonna be around for a minute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Barber, how you doing? Timbo.
What's up? What's up?
Full said, what's going on? I got a personal question, I think. My question is, have you had any setbacks and it took you some time to get over? And how did you get over those setbacks?
Oh man, we all got setbacks. I think one of my biggest setbacks is when I got into like the Percocets and the drugs and stuff like that, and I felt like it was, and how I got into it was really from going to the damn dentist, right? So my tooth was hurting, and I took a Vicodin, and I was like, oh, this shit feels amazing, right? So, and that turned into another, and I just kept doing. I'm like, cause that feeling felt good, and I was making music, and it just felt great. And then it turned into something else, and then after that, I felt like what's that? Get Out. I felt like I was in Get Out. I was in the sunken place, and I really was in the sunken place. So, just like I said I put on my IGTV something that I said. I didn't go to rehab. It was music and me and God. And my music, I felt like it was talking to me like, see, you taking me for granted. And I'm weird like that. I feel like my music, I talk to my music, I'm like, and it just wasn't, I couldn't hear right. And I'm like, and then when I played it for people, it's like, that ain't that Timbo. And I'm like, huh, that is Timbo. But I really wasn't, because I wasn't in my right frame of mind. So with prayer, I didn't go to rehab. It was just me and God. And when I quit and my mind started getting clear, that gift came back. But God took the gift away from me because I was abusive to it. I was taking it for granted. I thought I was bigger than the music. And you never bigger than the music. You never neglect the gift that God gave you. I started neglecting. So to get that back, I can't go back.
Oh my God. How are you doing?
I am blessed.
Yes, and highly favored. Okay.
Yes.
My name is Niqua.
How you doing?
And I'm truly blessed to be in this moment right now, because I know you haven't gone in and talked about baby girl which of course I call her baby girl because you call her baby girl. But I want to let you know that you both changed my life.
For real?
Yes, you both changed my life. And I can't believe nobody said, are you that somebody? Because
Oh, that was the illest.
that is, I'm like, who puts like a baby's voice in the bag? Like, this is crazy. But I just wanted to say on that note. But I'm actually, it's a follow-up question as far as, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, of course, you went into talking about your relationship with God, and I think that is absolutely beautiful. But I do know that God created psychologists as well to help us
Yes.
through. So with that being said, with us entering into this industry and you having the longevity that you have had and you continue to have, what steps do you take as far as seeking, like, taking care of your mental health, and what would you tell to us out here as we're going off into this industry? What advice would you give us?
You know what? I think I always, that's a good ass question. I think I still deal with mental health issues right now to this day, because I always ask, I said, what is mental health? And then some things that I do, I feel like maybe it's depression that's a part of mental health, right? So I get down on myself and my music, but then I have to tell myself, hold on, I'm great. No.
Right,
You got to talk to yourself. You got to, and it's, I think having a psychologist is good because you're just talking, and that's the thing I think about the phones. Sometimes, like when you talk to that camera, it's like talking to us because you're just getting your feelings out, Mental health is very big. I still deal with some things when it comes to with that. I just have a strong will. I just know I made it this far. I can keep going. You're going to hit doubts. You're going to hit bumps. But you got to know that you can overcome them bumps. With the Lord Jesus Christ, you can overcome anything. With prayer in your life, if you believe in God and you pray, you can overcome. Like, I can't tell you there's going to be a shiny day every day. Something's going to hit you in a way that it's going to really set you back. But you got to know how to. It's just like that song we did, and I understand why you said baby girl. If first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. And I leave you on that note.
How we doing, Timbo? My name is Mark.
How you doing, Mark?
Good. I just want to say you're a huge inspiration, and I just had a question. So I saw on your IGTV you had a conversation with Russ, and I just wanted to know how that went, and if you guys have anything coming out and your opinions on Russ and his music and stuff like that.
Russ, he is the most amazing new artist that I know. Just his business sense.
That's a fact.
How he thinks, how he see the music industry going. I think we probably talked. We did one song. We had two to do, but we did one. I'm gonna get back in with him because the conversation was so beautiful that we talked most of the night before we worked. So Russ is a special human being, and we did one song so far, but I'm planning to do like 3 more with him. And the song we did was fire because what we did kind of sparked. It's kind of the song we did is almost like from the conversation that we had. So you'll be hearing that soon. It's cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What's up, Timbaland? My name is Sable. So I got a question to ask about Baby Girl. And if y'all don't know, Baby Girl is Aaliyah. So in the game today, it's changed since, when she was out.
Yes.
How do you think she'll be if she was still here? Like, compared to Beyonce, they want to compare her to Beyonce, but you really think it would be a Beyonce if Baby Girl was still living?
I think, I'm just going to tell you what I think. I think Baby Girl, we still would have had a Beyonce. There's no doubt about that. But I think we'd have had Beyonce and Baby Girl. That's what I think. And Alicia Keys. I think she would have been right there with all the greats. I just think that, it's still, when and we talk about this, all of us, she supposed to be on that podium with the greats because she was one of the first to kind of start doing movies and stuff. She was on her way, but God had another plan for her.
Hey Timbaland, how you doing?
What's up?
Good, good. I'm from Mexico City, so I love Spanish music. I just wanted to know how was working with Bad Bunny and Wisin when you guys made "Move Your Body." Like, how do you guys mix your style with with their style?
Because you got to think about it. Bad Bunny, I don't know if he's reggaeton. He's like see, like a lot of people who work for me in my home in Miami are Spanish. So when Bad Bunny came out, they was looking at me like, I said, I'm working with Bad Bunny. They like, ooh, the Spanish tradition is y'all parents are tradition, and Bad Bunny is like his name. He Bad Bunny. So it wasn't like he's hip hop, but it was Spanish. You know what I'm saying? It's the same as if he was doing any other record. Like, I feel like Bad Bunny and all those, I think Drake is the one that inspired everybody to like do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So I think he changed the way Spanish music is. So, and now, what's the guy's name? I forgot his name.
Anuel.
I'm gonna call him A. All right, and that's how we get all these other great people from. It's just changing. The world is evolving. Music is evolving. That just like somebody said to me. This not talking about Spanish, but country. I'm gonna go to country. I was the first one to introduce country in hip hop with Bubba Sparks, and now you got Old Tommy Road. You understand? So it goes to show that I was ahead of my time. That the world evolved. So I don't know if it's reggaeton anymore. I think it's called reggae. We got to come up with y'all got to come up with a new. I don't think it's that no more. I think it's something else. So we got to figure out in the Spanish world, just like how we have trap, all this. We can't. Y'all have to come up with we have to figure out a Spanish. It shouldn't even be trap. It should be Latin because it's a whole swing.
They call it like urban.
It should be like like African has Afro beats. It should be it should be something. I'm gonna figure it out, but it shouldn't be trap because it's not trap. It's something else. It's like it's an urban feel, but I don't know what the word is yet.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep doing Spanish music.
I am.
First of all, I want to thank you so much for coming to speak to us. It means so much.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this is what I love to do.
It means
thank
so
you.
Much. Like, it feels like a dream come true. My question is, I make beats, and the beats that I've made were on an app. I came here to do music production, but I kind of switched gears, so I'll be basically making the beats on my own. What suggestions would you have in making beats, like, and starting off? Because the beats I made, again, were on an app, and I'm trying to navigate my way through the software and things of that nature.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say if you make beats, you're already doing it, right? Yeah. So what are you trying? Are you? So that sounds like you doubting yourself. You already probably doing. You probably already got great stuff. Like you are. If you're doing it on the app, do you understand that's just as beautiful as me doing it on the ASR 10? Long as it feels great, you own to something. You can't worry about if it's not this dial or that dial. I believe that you might got something great. I just think you going through that phase that we all go through is doubting ourselves, and people might say one thing or say one thing. You can't listen to the outside. You got to block the noise. And by you asking that question, the question is you need to be sharing what you've done on that app, and because you could have something amazing, but we would never know. So. I think you are.
I'm gonna make sure we find out.
You said what?
I'm gonna make sure we find out.
Yeah, do that. I can't wait.
Thank you.
Yo, what's up, Timbo?
What's up?
My name's Josh, and
how you doing, Josh?
Call me Jig. I wanted to know, how do you pick your samples?
How do I pick my samples?
Yeah, like what kind of process do you go through to like figure out what kind of samples that you want to use?
Oh, so I'm gonna tell you this. First, it's so many stories with this, but I can go back in the days, or I can go back in the day. I'm gonna go back in the days, and I'm gonna go to Karen. So back in the day, I would go to the record store because they don't have record stores no more. So I would go to the record store and spend at least about $7,000 on CDs, and I just take a whole month and just sample, find little sounds, chop them up. And I would go to different countries, like I would go to London and go in the Indian section and buy all the Indian music. Then I would go to Ireland and buy all Ireland music, and that's how like when I used to do it, chopping up samples. But now I have great young guys who make great loops, who send me stuff that's on my team, like Keanu Beats, Shakadi, a lot of guys from Germany that I use. They make amazing samples. That's the beauty that I'm finding out. Like a lot of kids to be making crazy loops, and I'm like, how do you do that? And I'll be asking them the plugins they be using, but that's how I do it now.
See, but it's hard for like us. I feel like us coming up, people making beats now and trying to incorporate samples, because we can't clear certain things.
Yes,
and we don't
you
have
can.
certain.
Why you can't clear it?
I mean,
just get a lawyer, get it clear. Like if you just see, that's the thing. It's a fun process, then it's a work process. If you really love that beat that you did that has a sample in it, now you got to take the time out to go do all the process. And then a lot of times if you shop it to an artist, you tell them there's a sample in it and they already signed, they're gonna clear it. Now the only thing is, some of the clearance gonna take 50% publishing, some of them might take 20% publishing. But you gotta love what you did and don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Because money, all that stuff will come. But do you love what you just did with that sample in it? It's not hard to clear anything. It's just a matter of just finding the right lawyer, the right, to go figure out how to go get this cleared. Or what I usually do is find people to replay it and change up a note or two and make it sound similar to fit over the drum. Just really think it out. It's like a puzzle. You're like, you know what? I don't want to clear this, but I like this. What do you love about that sample? And get somebody to recreate it. And now you have your own sample from a sample that you took from a record. Now you got some guys, y'all recreated it. Now you just made this whole different type of loop. And you just got to train your ear to not to get stuck on one thing, to say, you know what, let me have options. Thank you.
What's up, Timbaland?
What's up?
Thank you so much for coming to Full Sail. I know nobody else is doing this, and I'm sorry.
But I thought she about to come and sing.
No, not right now. But I do have some of my music, and I would really appreciate it if you would take a listen.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
See?
Thank you for coming, bro. Thank you so
See
much.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Persistence. Oh, wait a minute. Do you produce? You just gave me. Okay, so I'm listening to the vocals. I would have started listening to the beats and like, okay, talking to you about production. So you sang, but who did the music?
I did it all. I engineered
You
it
did
all.
the whole thing, engineered. Oh, this gonna be fire.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, Tim? I'm
What's
Carlos. I'm from Colombia. I've been looking up to you since I was living there.
I work with Colombia. Maluma's from Colombia,
Yes,
right? I work with
Maluma,
Maluma
yes, sir.
too.
Hey.
Yeah.
So my question is, it's gonna be two questions actually. My first question is, what was your biggest fear when you were starting it, when you were starting out, and what's your biggest fear now after all these years of success?
Well, I only really have one. I didn't have a fear of starting out because I didn't know if I was going. I didn't know what I was trying. I was just trying to not work a job. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing it, having fun. I didn't know where I was going. God brought me in, put me in this place. So my biggest fear is today is not being relevant. Because I am older. There are a lot of guys such as yourself. Y'all deserve a chance too. And I know people call me a legend, but so for my biggest fear is not being relevant because it's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn to shine. So for me, I had to understand how to stay relevant, and by staying relevant is building a team such as yourself around me and telling a Justin or a Jay-Z, you should work with this young guy. He gonna bring something out you, because the world evolves, you know what I'm saying? And when you do it as long as I've done it, you start to be like, okay, what else can I do? How do I make this craft interesting? And how you make it more interesting is bringing other people around, bringing new energy. You got to keep that energy around you. I try to keep fresh energy around me at all times because you never know what you're gonna get out of it, and it keeps me inspired. So I don't know if you have any fears yourself, but don't have fear. Just love it, and everything will fall into place how it should.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you.
All right, we got time for one more question.
You see that line? That line, they ready to go.
Yeah, I know we'd all sit here all night long, but
Oh yeah, I could do this all night. And if we had a drum machine, we could really get.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We could really get into it. Oh man, he said he got a laptop. See,
You got the beatboxer, right? Get a little beatbox going.
Hi, Timbo.
Hello.
I'm Kayla. I'm a songwriter as well as studying to be a mixing engineer. And I also do some visuals and stuff like that. I want to first say that I never thought in a billion years, coming from VA, I'd have the opportunity to ask you a question. So this has blown my mind. I'm from Virginia Beach. And
That's
so,
good. You can
yeah.
all-
But it's crazy because I didn't know that I would ever have this opportunity. So I'm all shaky, so sorry. But my question is, as an artist, because I go by Siren the Goddess, I have an issue sometimes finding that work-life balance, and I just wanted to know any advice that you would have for juggling clients for like visuals and stuff like that, my own songwriting, and my degree, so I don't drop one ball.
You know, it's all in trial and error.
Right.
You know, you gotta go through some things. You gotta go through some ups to figure. Go through some downs to figure out your ups. I really don't have an answer because I'm still juggling. As we, you know, we always gonna juggle, but it's trial and error. So you'll know what you should focus on.
Right.
It will come to you. Like, you know, if you like visuals more, you like, well, I'm spending a lot of time with this visual thing. And then you need somebody around you to be like, well, maybe that's what you should be doing. All this other stuff you might need to put to the back burner.
Right.
Then, you know, somebody might come to you and say, well, you're great at singing, though. You be like, but I love this visual stuff that I'm doing.
Right.
So then you got to listen to, you know, yourself, your intuition, and be like, you know what? This is what I love. I jump more for this than I
Right.
jump for this.
That's so hard because it's like they're all so close, and I'm like an Aries, so I can like do everything, but I have to find that thing
That
and
one
perfect
thing,
it.
and then everything will line up after that.
You're right about that. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, like I said, we definitely got to wrap it up now. All right, let's take the last question.
Thank you, because, I mean, I've looked up to you since I was I was probably like, maybe not even born when I heard, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey. hey.
You did it so effortlessly.
I practiced.
Do it again. Other part. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
like that.
I'm a producer too. My name is Icy Red, ICEERED, so I had to spell it like you did earlier.
Oh, you got fans already. Look.
And I mean, I look up to you and Pharrell. Like, you guys are probably the reason I started producing. And I know Pharrell and you are big on just like your sound being unique. I saw that thing y'all did at doing beatboxing each other's things. That was crazy.
Yo, because he needed to know that. Like, he inspired me. I needed to tell the world that Timbo was inspired by Pharrell Williams. You know, like, we working together, like how we sitting right here. His studio was like right over that side, and my studio was right here. So when I go to the room, I'm like, Missy, do you hear this? Then he had Khalees. Like, Pharrell is like a visionary of fashion sound. Like, when he had Khalees, I think she was like the first girl who had like the wild hair. Like, I'm not gonna say the first, but in artistry, that was the first time. And Khalees was like, he saw he saw something special in her. And Pharrell always picked artists that he saw something special in them. So
yeah, and I had edited that video and put the songs you guys were beatboxing into the video.
Yeah.
And but my question was like, being unique, and I mean, I'm sure you know now, like, sounds, they circulate through Reddit and the internet. It's like anybody can get the drum kit that Metro's using in his hit album. You know what I'm saying?
You said what about? You said what?
That the drum samples, it's so much easier to acquire the drum samples, whereas when you were making hits in the 2000s, it was like your sounds are so unique. So how important do you think it is now as a producer to still be unique and still try to be in the lane where new wave artists can still get on it?
I think now I'm gonna say this about y'all generation. I say this all the time. Is it the only difference is what the only backlash, and it's something you just said. Say the trap sound. I feel like everybody has the same drum kit sometimes, and I think that's what you discovering. Right. And you like, how do I not use these same snares or the same. I believe it was so much of it that y'all ears was trained to like just one thing. And now, as you get older, just like everything else, your taste change. The same way mine's change. But we came in the game, the difference with y'all, you can hear everything. Everything is available to you. We had to be different to get people attention. We had to be awkward. We had to be this. And it's going back to that now in y'all generation because you hear the same thing all the time. So when you be different, it's gonna stand out. You just gotta believe that, you know, you can't let nobody, you can't let nobody throw you off your game. Like if I tell you, if you use this snare that's like chip, 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 but it's your signature thing. It's what you do. You got to stand on it. You can't fade from not being different. And I feel like a lot of people are afraid to be different. They try to, you just gotta just believe in your craft and just do it and not shy away from it. And you're gonna meet that one particular artist and y'all gonna make that marriage, and then you're gonna kind of find what kind of sound you can do. And I know I hear that a lot of times, like the music y'all doing with hits. I don't really think it, I just think that we just try to be unique. Everybody, like if you go back to our generation, nobody used the same drums. That's what made RZA. That's what made Primo. That's what made Kanye. And that's what made Timbaland, and Pharrell, and Teddy Riley. If you go back and say everybody's drums and they sound, none of them was the same. None of us had the same thing. If you go today, it might sound like one big ass loop. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm hearing from y'all, the millennials, that you're getting tired of it. The same thing, and now everybody wants to experiment. So this is the best time to really put your best foot forward. Try be different. I'm telling you, it's gonna work. It might don't seem like it's working, but it's gonna work. If you want to use that snare that's loud, just make sure the sonic sound is great to you, because you might have your homeboy say, nah man, you need that trap snare right there. You're like, nah man, we get tired of hearing that. I want to go this way. And you just gotta believe that it's gonna work. And now's the time to be different. I feel like normal ain't it no more. Normal is not it. It's out the box. That's what's it. You gotta be out the box with it.
Well, I appreciate you taking my question, and I'm definitely gonna hit up that email. So remember the name IC Red.
I'm gonna see it all. I'm gonna see it all.
Bet. Thank you.
All right.
But Timbo, like I said, I know all of us. I would sit here literally and for hours on end and listen to you answer questions. And I see the line. I recognize so many faces. It's unfortunate that we got to shut it down, but we got to wrap it up. Personally, I think I can speak for everybody here. We so appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, man.
She is begging to ask a question. One more. But before she say this question, and I'm gonna walk off after this. When y'all do email me, please put the school for sale, so I know, because if it could be just some random anybody, that way I go to it very quick.
TimboTheGod@gmail.com.
Timbo the King.
Sorry, my perception of you is interfering with the communication. TimboTheKing@gmail.com.
Okay.
Thank you for picking me. You saw I was begging, so it might be important. But hi, Hall of Fame. How y'all doing? Can we get a round of applause for Timbaland for coming out, please? Thank you.
See, that's why I picked.
All right. So I go by the name of Ryder, R-Y-D-E-R, and I think we can all agree that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You feel me? You understand? So thank you. So I just have to say, with you being a creative genius, and from years ago when you started, producing and engineering, and when Missy got that chance to see something in you, I would like for you to take that chance to see something in me.
That's
if you
why I
have
picked
a
you.
minute of your time, honest to God. So I made this record, and if we can all jam out to it, I want to see if y'all fuck with it, honestly. So you did say you wanted to pass the aux. Is there a way that Full Sail staff can make this happen right now? Is that a way? No, is there a way? For real? No, seriously. Can we please, if it's your wishes, can we make that happen right now?
I'm here.
It's not my thing to call. I don't know where she's gonna plug in.
Is there anything to plug it up?
I need confirmation from the distance to know that we can make this happen.
Does anyone have a speaker out here so we all can vibe out to it? I want to see what y'all think. Somebody answer.
Yo, your energy is amazing.
Thank you.
That's why I picked you.
This is my fucking dream. Like, this is a dream come true.
Your dream is to do what? Be an artist?
Be an artist.
So
I cannot see myself on this earth. I can't see myself on this earth doing anything else. I can't.
wow.
Okay, so he said don't put it on the mic. Is there any way that we can have Timbaland faculty listen to this, please?
Do you want me to beat? So do you sing?
I rap. I do sing too, but I rap.
That's my manager.
I mean, we could.
I mean, if I don't know how she raps. I was thinking that too, but I'd rather hear a piece of her music than before.